Welcome back to One Man and 5 Acres. Today, I'm working on my daughter's Jeep Grand Cherokee again. Not this one, the one in front of me. So anyhow, a couple nights ago, she called and said she lost all the coolant in her engine. So I said, well, you'll have to get it towed over here and we'll have to get it looked at. So here it is. It's here, sitting here in the stall. I started looking at it and I figured, you know what? I think I'll video this. So that happens to me a lot. I'll start doing something and then all of a sudden be like, ooh, I should probably video this. So I'll show you what I'm working on. Okay, this is what we're working on. We've worked on it a couple times. Yes, it still needs a transmission, but the transmission is still working. So anyhow, started doing some checking. I filled it up with water. We pressure tested it. It failed miserably. Coolant on the floor. And yes, with a little bit of an inspection, we have a blowout. This hose gave away. So I have a Jeep sitting outside, and voila, here's another hose. This hose is, I checked it on the ends here. It's in pretty good shape. It's nice and still flexible, nice and firm throughout it. It's in good shape. So we're going to replace this hose with that one. So we're just going to take it off. It happens to be the bottom one. So I'm going to have to be gentle on getting it off of there. I'll probably just cut it off, but that's what we're going to do with it. We'll get it off. But it's down here. It's right there, just below. There's this hose. It's right below that one. Goes back in there. So everything's covered in coolant because it sprayed everything. Sprayed everything underneath the hood. So yeah, all nice and greasy feeling. So let's get started. All right. I would have a light in here so you could see what I was doing, but I don't have a light. My light broke. So we're going to be doing this by feel and a whole lot of luck, maybe. I don't know. But this thing is not going to be fun to get off of there. They normally never are. So see if we can't get a hold of it with these pair of pliers and get this clamp off of it. There we go. Try to spin it around to where I can get a hold of it a little better. I know you can't see it, but I've got my pliers on the actual clamp. So I'm just going to slowly kind of move some stuff around here. So we can get this out of there. Move the good hose here. This top hose, there's nothing wrong with it. So I'll get it kind of out of the way. And then we'll see if we can't get a hold of this in here. And kind of walk it off of there. How much of this you guys can see, but I'm hoping you can see it enough. But here it goes. There we go. All right, got the clamp off it. Now, I could see if it'll just kind of pull off of there. I really don't want to pull on it because it's the heater core that it goes to. So I think what I'll do is I'll take a razor blade and I'll cut down the side of it so we don't pull on it, because I don't want to break the heater core on the inside. So let's get a razor blade on this, see if that'll make it come off here any easier. All right, well, I am out of razor blades, so we're going to take the little pocket knife here and see if we can't cut down the side here and get this to come off of there. What do you know? Looks like it worked. And it did. There we go. Looky there. Alright. Anyhow, this is the bypass hose off the water pump. Or no. This is not the bypass hose off. This is the bypass hose that comes off of the thermostat housing, which supplies heat to the heater core. And then so what happens is, let's get over here so I can show you. So right here where my finger is, right here, this is the top of the thermostat housing. Thermostat opens up, goes into here. This right here bypasses the thermostat, which takes warm coolant out of the engine, which circulates it from here, which goes back to here, which comes back in to the water pump bypass hose, which is right here, that comes from the heater core. That's how you get your heat a lot faster in there, because the engine heats up, but until it gets to a certain temperature, the thermostat, which is right down here in this housing, opens up and then circulates through the whole system. Until then, you will get heat from the engine, from the block, through the thermostat bypass hose, which goes to back here to the heater core. And that's where you get your heat at. Now that we got that off, we'll go ahead and put this new one on. New used, I should say. Slip it up underneath here. These are the cables for the throttle off the pedal, the gas pedal, and the also the kickdown linkage for the transmission is all right here. And then the other one is the linkage for the cruise control on this model. Most cars don't have linkages anymore. Everything is what they consider throttle by wire. So that means anything and everything that you have will run off of the off a signal, which is everything's electronic, and that's how your throttle now is goes back and forth. You just push the pedal. It's got a sensor within the pedal, and that makes the throttle move. And the throttle has a motor on it that allows it to move back and forth for when you accelerate. These older vehicles, they have a cable, and that cable tells it to throttle up, and when you push down on it, it pulls the cable, which pulls the throttle on the throttle body or carburetor, depending on how old you are. Some people don't know what carburetors are anymore. That's for select people that probably watch this channel, probably know what I'm talking about. The younger people have no clue about that, but that's okay. All right, we got that on there. I have a pair of pliers that actually do this, but I just haven't walked over to get them. As of right now, this is working, so just use these pliers. Of course, it's going to make a liar out of me. I'll probably have to run over there and grab them anyway. Really? All right, let's just pop it back off there for a second. Move this to where I can get to it. There we go. All right, now, let's see if I can get this to work on there. It's kind of hard to do it without a light. I had a light, and wasn't a very good light. It was very cheap, and the shielding came off of it. Well, long story short, it burnt me, and I threw the light. So I now have no light to do this. Okay, I got it on there. It's kind of a pain, but I got it on there. I'm getting it. There we go. Now it's on there. I can take that off. All right. Anyhow, I couldn't get the angle I wanted, so I had to take out the oil dipstick for the transmission and the oil dipstick for the engine. They were in my way. So that part is done. So now I'll reroute this back where it's supposed to go. All right. Now I'm going to put this on, which should just slide right on. All right. There we go. Now I just got to put the clamp on it, and it should be fairly easy. I'm doing this with one hand, so bear with me. And there we go. It is on there. All right. Well, let's see if we got pressure now. See if it holds. All right. Let's check the pressure here. Still hear a leak. Yep, it's losing pressure. So we got to figure out where that's going. Yep, still leaking. That is loose. Really? It sure is. That is actually about ready to pop off there. That should be down there in there further. Well, we will fix that. All right. All right. Got an 8mm here for this. There we go. Oh, yeah. That was way off. Down. I should go way down more than that. Loosen it up some more. Loosen this worm clamp here and get this hose down on there. This is a brand new hose for this Jeep. We put it on, I think, last year, I think is when we did it. I think it was last year. There we go. I think when it got hot, it must have started trying to push this off, is what I'm thinking. But get it nice and tight. It's possible this clamp went bad. If it did, I believe I got another new one over there in the toolbox. Get a magnet. Never have too strong of a magnet. Just saying. There we go. Don't know anything about this magnet. I've had it for years. I don't even remember where it came from, honestly. I have no clue. I just know it works. Make sure it's tight. I don't want to get too tight and break it. I want to make sure it's tight. There we go. All right. All right, let's retest this thing. It's leaking worse now. We may have to put another hose on there. Well, looks like I'm going to check out a hose here. All right, well, let's take this upper radiator hose off. Not a fan of worm clamps, just never really have been, but that's what was on the Jeep when we got it. It was working then, so that's what we reused. I should have changed them out at the time, but didn't have the proper stuff. Daughter needed her car, so, you know, just went ahead and did what I could do at the time. Pull this off here, check some stuff out, see what's going on with this. Yeah. I don't really see anything wrong with it, but it's definitely leaking. All right, I went to the parts store and I picked this thing up so I can see. It's got a little light here, dims down, then this. Got a magnet on it so I can hang it above, which I think I might just use that. Bought some new clamps, and we bought a new hose, which I found out that the hose that I have is still under your warranty. So we're going to take it back tomorrow and get my money back for that. So, but go ahead and get this back together, re-pressure check everything. All right. It's not good. Wait a minute. How's this go? No, it goes like this. Turn around this way. There we go. There's that. There's that. All right. Get that on there. Like so. Move this down. There we go. Figured, let's go ahead and put a new hose clamps on it, just in case that was the problem. All right, turn my air compressor on. Making some noise in the background, sorry about that. Alright, let's get this thing tightened up. Getting tired of doing things with my hands, so guess what? I'm going to tighten this stuff up with air tools. What I got them for, so. That's tight. And let's see if it holds pressure now. Hopefully everything works good. Unless we find another leak. I don't hear nothing this time. We are airing it up to 18 pounds. Which will be right here at the black. That's between 17 and 19 pounds. All right. Got some coolant on it here. Or is that on the inside? Nope, there we go. I hear dripping. Where is it leaking? Where are you leaking at now? I hear it. Ah. Is it the water pump? Could be. I don't know. It's definitely leaking. All right, now that we've done a final inspection on everything, I don't know how well you guys can see, but we'll get this light down in here somehow, some way. But anyhow, the water pump is also leaking. Now, we did a water pump on this thing not too long ago, but it's leaking Yeah, I don't know how well you guys can see this, but it's leaking right down in there. There's a spot down in there. Anyhow, it's leaking right through there, and there's a water pump that's right in there. Trying to get a better view of it here. See if I can get some light on there. There we go. Maybe. There it is. You kind of see it lingering right in that area. There it is. Camera's barely picking it up. But it's leaking right where the tip of my finger is, right there. You can kind of see a little bit of green, but it's leaking right down there. There it goes. Right there. That's the water pump, and it's leaking out of the water pump. So, I can't get a pump today, so this will go on in tomorrow, and we'll have to rip all this stuff out of here to get to it. So, that will be tomorrow. So until then, I gotta clean that mess up. So I'll just put some floor dry on it and we'll call it good for the night. We'll see you in the morning.